Edition, your bite-sized show for gamers by gamers. But there is nothing bite-sized about this. I'm at E3, the biggest gaming convention in the world. Let's go check out the games.
Enjoy and have a great E3.
This team came together for one purpose, to give the gift of games to everybody. You know, I think I'm gonna need some more help.
It runs at a blistering 60 frames per second.
Won't require you to check in online periodically.
Please take a look at this.
I'm Geralt of Rivia, the Witcher.
We picked about 1,000 years before Skyrim. You get to actually reference all the lore that you've read from the other books, and you get to actually see that come to life, and you get to be a part of that. Interactivity is huge for us. So if you just want to hang out and sit around the game and you're like, I don't want to go quest today, I don't want to go do these things, but I still want to talk to my friends and be in the world, then there's activities for you to. I think one of the things that excites me is kind of our Alliance War, which is the PvP element, because it takes place in Cyrodiil, which is where Oblivion took place. And they have this huge war where they've got like trebuchets, catapults, battering rams fighting, there's boiling oil. It's a lot of fun to get people in and watch their reactions. They're a little timid at first, and it's like, oh, okay, this is great.
Everyone is connected to anything, devices, cities. So really, it's just the world we live in, and we want to make a really cool gameplay out of it.
Lose it.
Hello, I need you to stay on the line.
Hey!
If you're in a session, you're playing your game alone, someone can join you in that session. Like he has a session too, so we merge them together seamlessly. And then there's gameplays. What we showed was hacking. So someone can come in your game, try to hack you, take something from you, then run away, and then you have to take it back. It's the middle zone between single and multi as well, so you can be merged with multiplayer people and single player people.
I'm doing counterterrorism.
In Killzone Shadowfall, you play as Lucas Kellan. He's a Shadow Marshal, and he has this super cool gadget called the Owl, which is an attack drone. It's mounted on his back, and he can use it because it will give him all these different abilities. So we created this really lush and colorful, vibrant world. This is also because of the PlayStation 4 allowing us to do this, so we're very excited about that.
Goes for goal!
With FIFA for us over the last 5 years, it's really about deep innovation every single year within gameplay. Just how we can enhance physics, where not only do the collisions look good, players are now using anticipation and awareness for the very first time, creating those much more human-like instincts that we just couldn't do before. You can now use body position to win back the ball, which happens so much now in modern football.
That's first and awesome. Oh, and Green Lantern.
The only safe place left in the solar system now when the game opens is there's one last safe city on Earth. And that's where humanity has rebuilt civilization underneath the protection of this mysterious orb that they call the Traveler. No one really knows where it came from or what happened with the collapse, but so now humanity is starting to go outwards, and exploring the solar system they discover that it's now been occupied by all of these hostile alien races. You're one of the guardians of the city. You're venturing out into the wilds and exploring to try and find out what happened.
I'm no ordinary captain.
Well, what we really want the players to take a look at is the new limit break system that we've introduced into the party battles, where the whole party, by fighting, will fill up the limit gauge, and then depending on which type of role of character uses the limit break, you'll get a different type of attack or defense or healing. Depending on what type of enemy you're fighting, you'll talk it over with other people in your party to decide who is going to use it, what type of action you're going to use. It will be something that will basically transcend MMOs, something that you wouldn't expect in an MMO. It's more like a console game type of action, but we're having that actually, appear in an MMO.
Titanfall is an epic game about small-scale and large-scale battle. So the pilots call down their Titans, they get in, and they have these huge, immense battles. So you got Titans fighting Titans, pilots fighting pilots. But the thing that makes it really exciting is the crossover combat when they fight each other, and you get pilots and Titans all mixed up together.
Nintendo may not have had a press conference this year, but I think you can see they still have a massive presence at E3 and a really strong lineup of games, so let's check some out. There's all different kind of moves and stuff.
Yeah, like that's what's fascinating me most about this one. So just...
Nice.
Okay.
Whoa! Walls, whoa! No! Who came first? Who came first? I came first.
I thought I had it, and then the hang glide went way
You
off.
thought you had it, but you didn't.
You get the evade just at the right time, then it kind of gives you a...
Big opportunity with the story is that we get to see Batman becoming who we know he will, but also taking him back to this earlier part of his career where he's very used to being the best at what he does. So one of the things we're showing is how Batman can use these sensors in his cowl and the Bat computer back at the Batcave and a network connection between the two to analyze various pieces of evidence that he finds in these different crime scenes until eventually he figures out exactly what took place there. And then Batman can follow up and bring the guilty to justice.
I think as we move into next gen, the deeper storytelling we'll be able to tell will be different than what we've had before. Just in terms of technology, the level of detail that we have in the character. And then tie that into the fact that we actually brought in this Hollywood Academy Award-winning writer named Stephen Gaghan, who wrote Traffic, he directed Syriana. We had the guys from the Navy SEALs come in, and it was a dog trainer for the Navy SEALs, and he said, look, here's what we do with these guys. They have these vests that they put on that cost like tens of thousands of dollars. They have this camera on behind it that actually pops up as you're using the dog, and you can see what he sees. And through this sort of tablet that you can actually interface with the dog, he can hear what you're hearing, you can hear what he's hearing, he can sniff out enemies, he can actually bark to bring enemies out of cover, and then he can also engage with enemies based on your commands through the tablets.
We're announcing that we're going for 64 players on consoles for the first time, and also 60 FPS. So this is huge, this is the first time you'll be able to get those epic battlefield moments. We want to take the commander out of the game and have him be sort of a commander full-time, ordering your squads around, and we wanted to make like a full proper experience. And we also wanted to be able to bring the commander to tablet, so now you can take the commander experience with you.
We're getting special access. I'm allowed to sit in the car. No one else is, so I'm going to do it really quickly. Oh my gosh. I think it suits me. Oh, Bajo, you're gonna love this. We've been playing DayZ for a year now, and it still creates moments that just can't be replicated in other games. Why do you think that is?
I think a lot of it comes down to context. So, an example being, in some game you might come across a bus that has been beautifully filled with like gore and dead bodies and blood and stuff like that. It has no impact on the player because it's just art. It's just a prop that's been placed in the game. Whereas in DayZ, when you come across a dead player, it's a dead player or a dead body. So there's a story and a context behind that you know, and I think that gives you an emotional link to that event because you know it happened to a real person.
We're building a pirate game. What makes sense for a pirate, right? So for example, horse, we said no horse for this game. This is not the focus of it. And so, but for example, the tree running that Connor integrated, we said that this is a really nice ingredient to use and polish to have maps that really feel more organic than ever, So when you will navigate the rooftops of Havana, of Kingston and Nassau, or even some ancient Mayan temples, you will feel, you have this AC feel, but in a totally different environment. The element of the game that I'm really proud of, I hope that people really like, is this world. And this exploration of this huge world, the way people player want, for me is the key element of the game.
What are the kinds of things that you're taking into consideration when designing tracks for a game like this?
One of the kind of key components is, in terms of the location selection at least, is we wanted to say, okay, if I had an ultimate garage of the most wonderful cars in the world, where would I want to drive them? And you want to drive them on the greatest driving roads in the world. It's all about incredible draw distances. It's about exciting roads, high-speed corners, all that sort of stuff. So you get engaged with the track. You get some sort of emotional reaction from driving these incredible cars around incredible locations. You know, it's the thrill of driving a supercar. And I think we've managed to capture that with Drive.
I lost something I felt really close to in my family, and that was really the starting point for Beyond.
This thing is your friend, and he's connected to you with some kind of cord.
You just play, you just make decisions without sometimes even knowing you're making decisions. You just do what seems right to you, and the story will adapt to that and give consequences to your actions. It's really you as the player deciding where you want the story to go.
They have no idea what they're up against.
The games we develop are really based on emotion, and you need to have very good actors to convey this emotion, to create the sense of empathy with the player.
The agency wants you to join their military school program.
Ellen Page and Willem Dafoe got really involved in the project.
My name is Nathan Dawkins. I thought it would be a good idea for us to have a little chat, get to know each other a little better.
On Beyond, everything was shot, one take, one performance, and all actors on set at the same time, which totally changes the quality of the performance.
Do this for me.
We are back to our normal show next week, but I hope you've enjoyed this little slice of the awesome craziness that is E3.